of course, were in Artesia for a while. Your dad
Welcome
was,
back.
Was here as a coach
Welcome
for a
back on
long
our Tate
time.
Branch Fan of the Week segment. It's halftime of the homecoming game between Artesia and the Lovington Wildcats. And joining us by way of this high-tech Zoom phone call technology is Coach Tom Harvey. Coach, thanks for taking time to talk to us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, you, of course, were in Artesia for a while. Your dad was here as a coach for a long time, and
Right.
why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about you and your career when you were in Artesia, and then where you're at now, and what you did between then and now.
Well, like my parents, I got into education and started there for a year in Artesia, but for whatever reason, my family's from Texas, and me and my brother and sister all moved back to Texas. I've been in Andrews off and on for 35 years, and I've also been down Corpus Christi area and things like that. Never lost my Artesia orange blood, though.
Is that right? You still have some orange clothes around somewhere?
Well, I wish I did, but I don't. I was looking, but I don't have any orange clothes, but I have orange blood.
There you go. What is it about the Artesia experience that has helped you throughout your coaching career, and is there anything about that experience that you still utilize today?
The culture, the winning culture. There's, I've been a lot of places. There's really nothing like Artesia. Just excellence is expected, and it, you carry that with you. You grow up in that program. You go to that high school. You get to meet great people like Mike Phipps and Cooper Henderson and LG Henderson and all those people that went before you. And you just kind of have a responsibility to it, and you buy in at an early age, and it truly does stay with you the rest of your life. And it's a vehicle for the way you raise your family and things like that. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Now, your dad was also a coach in Artesia and a state championship coach. What was that experience like growing up with your dad doing that?
You know what? I didn't know anything else. And again, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I know there was a lot of pressure. Again, just excellence is expected and those things, and there was such a tradition there, and you don't want to let them down. And I remember that being a huge part of my dad's personality and the way he had a big personality. I think, I think that's well known, but he was so proud to be from Artesia and carried those friends lifelong throughout his life. And just everything about Artesia was front and center for him until he passed away 13 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. And now your family, talk a little bit about your family. Do you have any little football players or athletes, or tell us that story?
I do. I have a son that lives in the Metroplex area. He's a Marine. He fought in the war, and he's off doing his own thing over there in Dallas. And then I have my daughter who's a senior at Texas Tech, and she's fixing to go to nursing school. Her name's Raven. And then I have my two boys, Ranger and Raider. Ranger's a senior here at Andrews, and Raider's a sophomore here at Andrews, and they're fully busy with everything they do with football and track and things like that.
That's pretty exciting, especially there at Andrews. Now, you're defensive coordinator at Andrews?
I'm the head football coach. Our head football coach retired, and I inherited the job when he stepped down.
Well, that has to be pretty exciting. And how would you describe Texas football versus New Mexico football? I'm sure that comes up from time to time.
Yeah, that does come up from time to time. It's just Texas and any other state are just two different animals, because it is very important here, and it's in in New Mexico, it's very important in Artesia, but I never really got I never really got the feeling that it was important to the whole state like it was to Artesia. It is important to the whole state here in Texas, and you know, it's kind of like it's got a culture of its own. You know, high school football is real big here, and there's expectations when you do that job over here, and a little bit of pressure, and but if you could picture it being Artesia but statewide. So high school athletics in general are huge in Texas. We actually have 3 Artesia kids in our program right now, and man, I love the way they carry themselves because they don't shy away from anything. I love what they're about, and they're all business when they're on the football field. So, but there's a lot of similarities from Artesia in the state of Texas, but maybe not for the whole state of New Mexico.
I think you're right about that. Artesia beat Cleveland High School last week.
And Andrews, do you get to play any schools from New Mexico, or you pretty much just play in Texas?
Years ago, when I first got here in the 90s, we played Hobbs a couple of times, but we've played them on sub-varsity and junior high, but we've never played Artesia, and I don't want to play Artesia because I want them to win every game they play. But we have played Hobbs, but on a normal basis, we don't play them.
I think one of the biggest, just that stands out to me, differences is in New Mexico we have the mercy rule. So you get up by 35 points, you have a running clock, you hit 50 points, and the game is over. Right. I don't think that you don't have anything like that in Texas, do you?
No, we don't have. We have that in 6-man football. Not in 11-man football. No, there's a few times when I was down on the coast. I wish we did have it, but we didn't. No, we don't have that rule.
That are on the show get a custom mug that says #1 fan. Obviously, you're not here, so we're going to when we get done here, I'm going to get your address and we're going to send it to you, so that you'll get it, and that way you'll be able to walk around on Fridays with an orange Bulldog mug and show people, what you remember from back in the day.
Well, those 2 or 3 kids I have in my program from Artesia will be jealous.
Anything else you'd like to mention, Coach?
It's great to be a Bulldog.
We've heard that. What's your mascot there in Andrews?
Mustangs.
Okay, so it's great to be a Mustang too, right?
It's great to be a Mustang as well.
All right. Our guest, Tom Harvey, Coach Tom Harvey, and we appreciate your time for being with us. And we invite you to join us next week when we're down in Santa Teresa for our next Fan of the Week segment.